I was too fat. Prime Minister Boris Johnson says Brits must lose weight to fight coronavirus.
Here's a summary of the article.
UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson said Monday that he was way overweight in April when he was hospitalised with COVID-19, as his government launched a campaign to cut the country's obesity rates as part of its pandemic response. Citing research by England's public health body, a British government policy paper published Monday said there is now consistent evidence that people who are overweight have a higher risk of being hospitalised, entering intensive care, or dying after contracting COVID-19 than those in weight ranges considered healthy. Around two-thirds of adults in the UK are overweight, and half of that group are in turn considered obese, the paper said. If all Brits who are overweight lost 5.5 pounds, the policy paper found, it would save the NHS $135 million by 2025. Johnson said the campaign would help people a little bit to bring their weight down, not in an excessively bossy or nannying way, I hope. Commentators in the UK have expressed surprise that Johnson had championed a national weight loss campaign. Before becoming Prime Minister, Johnson published several columns arguing against health-related policies of previous governments on the grounds that they intervened too much in people's private decisions.
This post received a score of 29,000, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Many people in many countries need to lose weight to fight not just COVID-19 but many other diseases.
Hell, imagine if Americans started eating normal proportions, everything from public health to the climate would see positive effects.
I have a number of friends who are doctors. They say over 90% of their COVID patients are obese. Many of them say, I'm completely healthy doc, and don't think they're obese because in their communities they aren't more overweight than average.
Yep. The sliding window of what's become normal in many communities means very few overweight people are willing to admit they're overweight. Or at least not to the extent they actually are. I admit that I need to lose a few pounds, is usually closer to 50.
Classic example is that when I was growing up Homer Simpson was considered obese, but now that's just what a lot of people look like. Peter Griffin was also made for the same stereotype, but since the show was made a lot later he is quite a bit fatter. I am curious if modern-day Simpsons makes as many fat jokes about Homer. They were quite common during the early years, but I haven't watched the later seasons. And you are right, Homer isn't as obviously overweight comparatively anymore.
We still watch So and I, and no, not as much, also less choking of Bart. Lisa is still a vegetarian, but it doesn't seem as edgy and is rarely brought up unless they're eating.
At least he admitted it.
You know people who say no one can eat stuff while they are around. Imagine doing it on country level. Bonus is doctors will be able to prescribe exercise now, and they should. ...
No, I don't know those people. What?
I think they mean when people get so caught up in their diet that they get pissed off when other people eat food around them. Or something. I don't know.
Reduce sugar consumption to 1920 levels and you will see wonders. Edit. The idea of sugar being addictive is definitely controversial. Some people develop softer kind dependency, accompanied by cravings during withdrawal. Sugar messes with the dopamine reward pathway. Incidentally, things like social networks do it as well.
In America it's corn syrup. We propped up the farmers with corn subsidies, now corn syrup is in everything.
You wouldn't believe how much better American products taste outside of America, where they're made without corn syrup.
I don't know about what corn syrup is or isn't in, but I live in South Korea and McDonald's is the shit here. So much better than America. It's not as salty or greasy and tastes so much better. It's like that for a lot of American fast food restaurants here.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.